So if you go to TSI website, you will see that HSpice is located here. The category is called AMS verification. Then you click HSpice. You will see that you can see that I already logged in, so you can see there is a software acquired. So you can click this button. Then there are different versions from 2018, 2019, 2020 to the newest version is 2024.09-SP1. Okay, this is the newest version of HSpice. In addition to this file, there are some other files: hspice.zip, cic.tar, tcat cic.tar, and the installation guide synopsis. Last time I did not explain this, so if we have time today, last time when I tell you how to install Virtuoso, I just tell you need to use my configuration file, right? I didn't explain this to you. Today I will explain what is inside installation guide underline cadence.txt and the cic.tar. Different software have different installation guide, but I didn't follow the installation guide provided by TSI to install the software. My installation process is completely my own, not from them. Okay, and it works so far so good. Okay, our standard operation procedure, we will use this procedure from now, from this week, from the beginning of this semester to the end of this semester. So the first step is always download, then extract, install, configure environment, and test. Now you already download this file, right? You have already downloaded this file in HSpice. In HSpice directory, the file name is called HSpice underline 2024.09-SP1 underline linux.tar.gz. Now we want to install it to OPT EDA directory. Last time we installed IC and the ICAD VM. Remember? Last week we completed the installation of IC and the ICAD VM. We use the same method to install the file. Okay, our first. Okay. By the way, if you take a look of your system now, uname -a, you can see your Linux kernel is 6.1.129-1. So you already update your system. You can use root permission or normal user permission to run this command. Okay, now we begin to install. Today our job is to install HSpice, Synopsys HSpice. So first step is always download. So we type tar xva HSpice tab. Remember, you need to use tab. Okay, tab is a very handy key. You need to understand. Then COPT-EDA, enter, and it will begin to extract and install HSpice to this procedure. Okay, the third step is to configure environment, right? You need to create the path of this software and the license setting to port 26585 at LSTN. This time we set up our license server to LSTN, right? Then export it to environment variable. So I will add this. Okay, let me go to etc. OPT EDA VI bash EDA. Last time, you have created Virtuoso and the ICFB, right? Now we want to add more software. So add these 2 more lines here. And add the HSpice path here. You need to add the HSpice path here. The $sign here means the content of the variable. Understand? Let me explain this to you. For example, if you type echo HSpice, I use another variable. If you type AAA, okay, nothing happened, right? Because AAA does not exist yet. But if you type export AAA equal 1111 and you type echo, you can see AAA. The $sign here means the content of AAA variable. This can be a string or a variable because this is C shell, not a C. If this is in C, you need to set up its type, for example, like an integer, AAA. Remember, if you use C, but this is not a C, this is bash. So 11111 can be variable or can be a string. Now we set up our path here, and we go to the button, and we set up. We add more content here. We add the license. You already have one license setting, right? In this time, you need to add one more, which is 26585 at LSTN. Then you need to export it to license file. Let me show this to you. Before you source again, if you type env grep lm, nothing happened, right? If you type source opt eda bash rc eda, then you can type env grep lm again. Enter. You can see now you have set 2 license files. The first one is for Virtuoso. The second one is for Synopsys. You may have a question because you don't know why should I set up this. So I will explain this later. Because you haven't set up a license server before. Okay? We can begin our test now. So we can run HSpice. Enter. You can see that it shows you prime. It shows you, if you type HSpice, it shows you prime scene. 你是在假搞？你给我跳这个出来？我知道你是 HSpice 啊，不要再叫出来了。Okay, if we type HSpice here, you will see that this is prime scene. HSpice version is 2024.09-SP1 Linux 64 version. I just tell you that our HSpice is 2024.09-SP1, right? So you can run HSpice now, and because you didn't give it a file name, so I type Control C. Okay, I type Control C to quit because I don't have netlist. I don't have inverter netlist. If you have an inverter netlist, you may run simulation, but we need to adjust it a little bit. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and 4. The fourth step. The fourth step is test. Okay, so we can run HSpice, and you will see HSpice interface. Basically, you should see this line. This is 2024. Okay, .09-SP1. Then it will need us to input a simulation file. Okay, so we can press this I will let you to include all this in the bashrc.eda. Later, you need to configure your HSpice and run the system.